What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you some more Splinterlands content. I'm once again joined back by popular demand, the one and only Godziel. How are you, Godziel?
Hey, After Sound. Glad to be here. Thanks for having me again. And hey, guys, glad to be here. Saw the wonderful comments you guys left
Mhm.
in the chat below. Really thankful for that, and glad to be back.
Yes, indeed. I had a wonderful time chatting with you, and like I said, the response and the feedback was awesome. So there's been a lot that's happened since the last time we spoke. Now, well, we're going to try something different here, just to keep things YouTube friendly, I guess. We'll try and chunk it out into specific topics. But the first one we got to do is
Yeah.
Waka Spiritblade,
Mm-hmm.
Imagine Dragons.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts, man? I need to hear. I mean, people have been here, they've heard me. I've been like spitting about it for so long. So, what are your thoughts
Yeah.
on that? Are you going to go for a card? And is this something that you think could actually be game changing?
Yeah, I think everyone was like waiting and anticipating this most recent town hall, right? Because we had a 1 week break,
Mm-hmm.
and there were rumors, there were buzz going on in the Discord chat on what's coming next, what's the team gonna announce, because there was like a week gap, and I think in one of your previous video you talk about, should we hold on some vouchers? We feel that there's a promo coming, and true enough, we saw it. The Waka card, it's sick. I think it's really dope. Like I love Death Deck. So when I
Mm-hmm. Me
saw it, I was
too.
like, damn, like I gotta get it. Like, but when Cheddar, the head of growth, head of marketing, he mentioned that it will be like in the hundreds of vouchers and thousands of SPS. Then I was like, oh my. And
And
I
there's
think
only a
it's
thousand
really limited.
copies.
Yeah,
Yeah. Or
only a thousand.
500 really on the website. And that have you dealt with
Yeah.
Wax? Sorry to cut you off, but have you dealt with Wax?
No, I have
Okay.
tried shopping on Atomic Hub, I think for land previously, but I think it was like quite complicated, difficult to get on that shopping
Mm,
site. So I went for Hive Engine instead. So I've not
okay.
really dealt with Wax. So maybe if the price is right, I may have to get one on Wax, because I think the copies on the store will be sold out pretty quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I had a good amount of vouchers, and then I posted that video recently where it was just like, oh no, there's people with like thousands, over 10,000 vouchers. So it I'm gonna wait until Monday. I think that's when the announcement is gonna be made, either Monday or Tuesday. But yeah, it seems somewhat out of reach. But I agree with you in terms of the death deck. Like the idea of like all of those fun Chaos Legion death
Mhm.
monsters throwing poison around is really exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, I
I just
think
think of like, oh,
poison
go ahead.
is
Yeah.
really strong. Poison is
Mhm.
like additional 2 damage. It ignores the armor, very strong. But I think just looking at the card design on its own, I think the team outdid themselves. Like it's I think it's a really cool card. Like it's a card that when you see it, it's like, damn, that's a promo card. It shouts like a promo limited edition.
Mhm.
I think it gives that extra like X factor as compared to Dr. Blight. I think when Dr. Blight first came out, right, people were like, don't really have that promo feel. Yeah,
Sure. Yeah.
but this one for sure, there is the X factor, and it makes people want to collect it, I feel. What do you think about the price? Like, if you were to slap a price on it in US dollars, what will you give it?
I mean, I've heard all kinds of speculation. I don't think there's any way it's going to be three figures. I think it's going to be at least four figures because people are, when you look at Dr. Blight, for example,
Hmm,
Dr. Blight, to max out a regular foil Dr. Blight, you would need 11 copies, and
yeah.
it's a little bit under $100, but let's just say you get it on average for like $100. That's over $1,000 for a maxed
Yep.
out Dr. Blight.
Mhm.
There's, I think, 12,000 Dr. Blights in circulation, and there's only going to be 1,000 of these cards. So it's even more rare than Dr. Blight. So I can see the price tag being higher than that kind of low four figures. Um,
Yep.
but again, I don't know. I don't know what to expect. There's obviously a lot of longtime players that have accumulated quite a few assets here that I'm sure
Yeah.
they want to add that to their collection, right? And I consider myself a
Mhm.
newer player, so it's like, to kind of try to compete with them is going to be tough. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'd say low four figures at the very least. So
Yep. Yep. Same. I think we are talking at least 1,000 USD. I think
mhm,
that would be a pretty fair price, at least in the thousands, because I think you're getting a max out copy immediately from the shop, right? And it's just, I think it's just the supply. If we're talking about 500 copies at the initial stage, then I think the price has to be high, to meet that supply as well,
mhm.
to keep it, have the novelty factor that not everyone gets it, so that there will be some FOMO into future vouchers, so to promote people holding on to vouchers, staking SPS for vouchers. So I think for a first launch, they need to maybe get the price a little bit higher. That's why they are keeping it just limited to 1,000 copies.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. So even going back to one of your earlier comments, like the artwork is phenomenal. I think this
Hmm.
partnership is, I mean, I think I know one or two songs, like whatever his main singles were. I don't necessarily follow his music fully. Not that
Hmm.
I don't like it. It's just, I just hadn't been following it, but I know who he is.
Hmm.
And his, the songs that I listen to are fun, and I used to party to them. So it's good
Hmm.
for that. And it's like, okay, so now you have this kind of A-list or well-known celebrity, and then you make this awesome card. And to me, it's more so about like brand awareness, right? Because I think a lot of the chatter that we've been seeing, and I don't know how closely you've been following the Mav chat, but I've been in and out. Most of what I've seen though is this is not going to necessarily bring in new players, right? Or
Yep.
like, sorry, new players won't be able to afford this because they won't
Yes.
have the vouchers and whatever.
Hmm.
But I don't think that was the point. I think many people who follow uh, Waka for either his music or his persona or whatever he's interested in, right? Because at the end of the day, he's an influencer to a certain degree. I was very
Hmm.
impressed when I saw that he had like his Twitter name or whatever is like his at .eth. So he's like very much into the crypto side, which means if he's there and in that space and talking about it, then a lot of his followers are going to be at least crypto aware, right?
Yep.
And
Yep.
now, if they're following him, they're fans of him, they're crypto aware, and they hear that he's working with a P2E game, right?
Hmm.
Within the space, they might come and check it out, not because they want to have like hundreds of vouchers and thousands of SPS, but it's just like, well, he's like collaborating with this game. What's it all about? And to me, that brings
Yep.
eyeballs in. And every time you bring
Hmm.
eyeballs in, even if 99% of them leave because they're like, this isn't for me or whatever, that 1%, it's like, the floor keeps rising in terms of like the players
Yes.
who come in and buy into it, right? I think
Yep.
about it the same way that I think about Bitcoin, right? Every day
Yep. Yep.
there's a new person who is orange pilled, right? Somebody who's just like, oh, I get it now. And that person
Yep.
becomes a long-term hodler, right? So it's the same thing
Yep.
with Splinterlands, where some people come in, a lot of people leave, but the few who come in are never going to go away, right? So at least that's kind of how I viewed, and I think there's still a lot of value. But what do you think in terms of like long-term promotions? Because from what I'm understanding, this seems like the first of many. And obviously, there's talk about Imagine Dragons as well. And I don't know that
Hmm.
we're necessarily going to get an Imagine Dragons card, but it's not out of the realm of possibilities now, right? So, what are
Yes.
your thoughts on this as a promotional, yeah, as a promotional tool or a promotional vehicle?
Yeah, I think like Spinterlands have been growing organically for the past few years, right? And
Hmm.
now it's really the time where we kickstart all the marketing campaigns, the partnerships, to try to drive growth at the same time to increase our daily active users, our sign up. So to be very honest, I think the steps that Splinterland has taken has amazed me. They're going after A-list rappers, they're going after Imagine Dragons, and these are deals that I would never imagine, to be honest, like a month or 2 months back. And they managed to clinch these deals, these ads, promotions, marketing in Thailand as well. I think for the past 1 month, I think they have secured many good wins and bringing Splinterlands in the right direction. And as you said, uh, for a start, promotion is about getting the awareness,
Mm-hmm.
uh, selling the brand, selling the game out to the mass, to the public, and just creating that wider funnel, that wider funnel so
That's a
that
good
more
point.
people
Yeah.
enter into this ecosystem. Definitely in a funnel system, not everyone stays, not everyone, not we are not able to retain every single player. But the wider the funnel is, the more people that will be funneling down to right down to the end where people invest and enjoy the game. So definitely I'm supportive of uh, the Imagine Dragon move as well as the Waka move.
Mm-hmm.
There are people in the math chat pretty interested in how much, what is the cost like to do these partnerships and promotions. But to me, these are money that is well spent. And for a company that is growing, I feel that the company has to reinvest and invest in growth and in marketing,
Mm-hmm.
especially at this early stage. They have proceeds from Chaos Legion, they have a war chest. The team has to reinvest and invest in growth to drive
Yeah.
the DAU up, to get more people in, and all this. There are many ways to do it, but getting the right meeting and trying to target the right audience is very important. So,
Yeah.
like you said, for Waka, his followers would most likely be crypto aware. So I think that's one of the main reasons why they want to work with him instead
Mm-hmm.
of other singers or celebrities or influencers. So it's a very good step, first step. And then for Imagine Dragons, doing it concurrently with their uh, US tour. At the same time, I think Imagine Dragons has worked with like League of Legends in the past
Mm-hmm.
before for promotions, and maybe there's a good reason why they chose Imagine Dragons. Maybe their background in gaming or their interest in games in general,
Yeah.
and just the word dragons just triggers people in
There's got
Splinterlands,
to be an
right? Like,
Imagine Dragon card now.
yeah. And if they really do it, it will be like a fantastic promotion move,
Mm-hmm.
So it people and players will be hyped up. And I hope there are more to come in this year, hopefully. Uh, but to me, it's more about the quality than the quantity. I don't really want the team to just splash ads, especially when I look at the promotion videos or ads. Right now, I feel that there's not really an actionable point. It's more of like
Mm-hmm.
just blasting images or blasting videos. But when you look at it, it looks like a movie trailer or a cartoon trailer. I have no idea
Yeah.
it's a game, to be honest. So I hope that that there's some work to be done. The video has to be more direct, and there should be some actionable point to get people to download the game or get people to sign up for perhaps a QR code with a promo code to sign up. Something actionable for the fans and for the viewers of these ads, so that they know that, oh, it's a game. I need to download it.
Yeah.
I need to create an account. So I think this is slightly missing right now. But I think the team is always improving. I think Nate went down to the concert venue itself to have a
Mm.
look, and I think
Those
he's doing
pictures were
his
cool.
survey. Yeah, it's really
Mm-hmm.
cool. Uh, So I think he's doing his work there. Seeing how they can improve for the future concerts, and I think it's good. The team is heading in the right direction.
Yeah, no, all of the points that you brought up are I agree with 100%. I'm very happy with it. When you said quantity over quality, or sorry, quality over quantity, that's an
Mhm.
important one to me, because you know, and the other point you made about like splash ads just being everywhere, I see ads for games all the time. I never click on them,
Mm,
and maybe because
mm,
I might be a bad example because like I'm kind of set in what I want, so I'm not looking for anything. Maybe some
yeah.
other folks who are more explorative, like or in an explorative phase in their crypto journeys, they're gonna go through and start looking around. But I haven't clicked anything. So to me, this is more like a bigger brand awareness. If I were to hear like, oh,
Mhm,
big A-list rapper or
mhm,
somebody that I follow, or at least I'm tangentially kind of following, works with this, then that's interesting to me. I do have a
yeah.
question for you though. Do you follow
Sure.
anything with Axie Infinity?
No, no,
Okay,
no.
so I'm probably gonna sound like an Axie hater right now, but I could be wrong. So if somebody in the comments wants to correct me, feel free. I'm not an Axie hater. I'm actually a big fan of Axie. I just don't play it and I don't know much about it. But my point is, if Waka had done a deal or Imagine Dragons had done a partnership with Axie Infinity, I would have been surprised. That would have caught me. I
Mhm,
would have been like, ooh, that's interesting.
mhm,
But they didn't. And not
mm,
because Axie's bad, but it's just to show you how far along Splinterlands actually is. Like Splinterlands is inking
mhm,
these big deals. Whereas again, I don't know, maybe Axie's like gotten some kind of partnerships, but I think of Axie as like the epitome of PTE gaming, right? Every game is
yeah.
trying to be the next Axie. So if
Mm,
Splinterlands is making really big moves like this, not just financial and marketing, but like very cultural moves too, where they're able to like tap into certain parts of the culture. Imagine Dragons and Waka are very big in the communities that they're a part of.
yeah.
That to me like says a lot, because it's like,
Mhm,
well, this is very, I called it out in one of the chats that I was talking in on Discord, but I'm just like, they're very corporate, and
yeah.
say what you want about corporate, but corporate is effective, right? They're
Mhm,
running this thing like a business, and
yes.
if you know how to run it like a business and it's not just out of your garage, which all power
Mhm,
to all the cool, devs who are bootstrapping it from their garages. But if you want to like turn this into a multi-billion-dollar thing, you really need to
yep.
have all your ducks in an order. And it feels as though the Splinterlands team has that together, and now everything is starting to come out. So,
Yeah.
who's the next big promo? You gonna put a guess out here? We'll see. We'll see if you're right in a couple
Uh,
months.
um,
Actually, better question.
I,
Who's on your wish list? Ooh, this is a great question. Who would you like to see collaborate with the team to make a card? Now, it could be somebody who's like
mhm.
in the crypto community already, or it could be somebody random who Splinterlands is the first time. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna have everybody here clip this little part and then tweet it at that celebrity. Go for it, Godziel.
Elon Musk. He
No,
will
okay, we gotta get
moon
number two.
every single asset. Just one tweet from him will moon SPS, right?
Yeah, you know what? I guess you're right. Okay, who's your
He's the
number
number one.
two? Who's your number
Okay,
two after Elon?
if you're talking about celeb, maybe like actors, singers,
Well,
um,
Elon is the biggest influencer in the world right now. It seems. I
yes,
mean, just his reach is
yeah,
ridiculous. But
yeah,
I think he's a big Dogecoin bull. So we may not be able to get him off the Dogecoin train just yet. So who would be your,
we just
your
need
number
him.
two?
Mhm. I would say maybe like uh, one of some of the rappers like like maybe Drake, Snoop Dogg, Justin Bieber,
Mm,
like these singers, they have huge influence, especially in the United States, where I think
yeah,
Splinterlands is like trying to target the first target audience would be the United States.
yeah,
So I think these rappers and singers who are based mainly in the US would have huge influence, and they are dabbing into the crypto world, the NFT world. So I think uh, they will be a great fit. Yeah. So
yeah,
maybe even like sports athletes. I think there are many sports athletes
yeah.
trying to
That's good
get
too.
into NFTs.
Hmm.
I could see that happening as well. That would be pretty
Hmm.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned Snoop Dogg, because I know Snoop Dogg has been very active on like the NFT scene. So it would be interesting if Splinterlands crossed his radar in any way. Because I mean, if you were a celebrity, who doesn't want to have like a card made from like your brand and
Yeah.
your image? So I would
Hmm.
love to see a Snoop Doggy Dog card summoner in
Yeah.
the
I think
the
it's a cool thing for them. They immortalize themselves in the
Mhm.
metaverse, in the NFT world, and I think a lot of celebs will be really interesting. It's like, I hope it becomes like a competitive thing among all the singers and celebs. Like, hey, I partner with this game, so and so. I have this NFT, and
Yeah.
they brag about it on Twitter. They show it off, and it's just a flex. Like a
Yeah.
2022 flex thing. So I hope it
But
catches fire and we go.
but see, them flexing is something that raises awareness and then value of everything within Splinterlands, which is
Yeah,
awesome. So
yeah.
cool, man. Okay, let's go ahead and wrap this up. My
Hmm.
last question for you is vouchers. So
Yes.
I'll before I get your opinion on it, I just want to say I'm actually kind of surprised that voucher prices didn't go higher than they are right
Hmm.
now. Granted, they did a
Hmm.
2x essentially, right? We were like close to like
Hmm.
a dollar
Yeah.
20, and then we almost went up to 250. We don't have to get into price speculation, but moving forward, how do you feel about voucher utility if this is going to be a big part? Because now this is kind of taking away from the people who are stacking up for Rift Watchers too. So
Hmm.
if some of the comments that I was getting is like, if all these whales buy into this, that means more vouchers for me for Rift Watchers, and I can get in on the pre-sale. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, look at these long-term planners. This is what I want to see. But
Hmm.
what are your thoughts about this in terms of voucher utility? What does this do overall to SPS utility? Because vouchers are so closely related. And how
Hmm.
are you thinking like over the next 6 months when Rift Watchers and maybe land, how all this could tie in?
Yeah. I think good point on the increase of the vouchers prices being only like 2x. I think a lot of players were expecting more. But if we look at it collectively, if you remember back then in the pre-sale, there were actually about 1 million vouchers that were unused, right?
Mm-hmm.
That were not utilized. So I think this part, uh, maybe the team didn't really foresee this portion, like how much of these vouchers would not be used. So if we look at it today, there's about 1.5 million vouchers in circulation, uh, flying around in
Mm-hmm.
Splinterlands, right? And if you look at just Waka alone, you're talking about 500 cards, and if you talk about perhaps each card, you need like 200 vouchers. You're talking about um maybe 100,000, 200,000 vouchers required,
Vouchers being
and that's
taken off.
just like,
Yeah.
yeah, this is 10% of the existing supply that's in circulation, and every
Mm-hmm.
day we are getting 20,000 more. So Waka, other than the initial hype that we saw last week during the announcement, and perhaps next week, when there's the FOMO part where the whales start moving in for vouchers,
Mm-hmm.
I don't see vouchers moving, having any much upward pressure, other than just a short window, um, because there is sufficient supply in the market, I feel,
Mm-hmm.
currently, just for Waka. But moving forward, as we have more promotions, the team talk about having special potions in the voucher
Yeah.
shop. At the same time, for Rift Watchers, vouchers would get drained off the market really quickly, I think, in the next 3 months. And that's when we see perhaps a supply crunch of vouchers being valuable, because the team did talk about, it doesn't mean that every item needs to be one voucher. It can be a fraction of voucher. So it really
Yeah.
depends on the supply of vouchers. So perhaps one voucher could be as valuable as 10 vouchers today, or even 20, or even 50. So I can see in the medium term, at least 3 to 6 months, vouchers will get scarce. The supply may
Yeah.
not be able to catch up with all the promotions coming on, the things that they throw into the voucher shops. And when vouchers price increase, more attention will be turned or headed to SPS, because when I can't buy vouchers off the market because it's expensive, I would the next logical thing to do is, okay, I buy SPS and stake it so that I can get a constant daily supply of vouchers.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than think, and then as and when there is a promo that I want to be involved, then I will consume or use the vouchers that I have. If not, I can
Mm-hmm.
just hold on and maybe I'll participate in the next one. And people will have
Yeah.
that choice, but people will be hodling, holding their vouchers and not think of selling. and then buying off the market will be pretty difficult. I feel. Yeah. So
So
all this
yeah.
demand will just drive uh attention and demand for SPS, I feel.
Gotcha. Okay, so you're thinking that over the next 3 to 6 months, we're gonna have some kind of supply crunch here with all of
Mm-hmm.
the utility that we're getting. I don't want to ask you unless you want to give like a price
Mm-hmm.
prediction, but my curiosity is where in the long run, right? When we're on kind of like a regular circulation, not
Mm-hmm.
circulation, but a cyclical release schedule, right?
Mm-hmm.
For the different expansions, so Rebellion and whatever the next mini, and then we have the voucher store with promos coming every month or every other month. My curiosity, again, and I'm not asking you directly unless you want to speculate on it, but my curiosity is
Mm-hmm.
where do voucher prices stabilize at? You know, long term, what is the value of a voucher? Because it's only been out for a couple of months, right? People look at it as a token. I don't really see it as a token, like because it doesn't follow like anybody who's doing TA on vouchers. I'm just like it's not a
Mm-hmm.
real token, right? The
Yes.
catalysts are so random and so
Yes.
infrequent, but we saw it go from like 25, $30 to almost $1, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
now we're after this news, we're stabilized at $2 over the last couple of days. I'm just curious where, again, and I might just be saying this out loud or thinking out loud. I'm just curious where voucher prices would stabilize out in the future because I really do see vouchers as the only SPS utility outside of like staking for tournaments or things like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I
But
agree with you 100
yeah,
100%. Sorry, go ahead.
I think it's very difficult to put a price on vouchers alone because it's really dependent on the promos they have and what they throw in the voucher shop. But I can see vouchers price rising steadily. And it really depends on the supply as well because now we have 20,000 vouchers. You can't tell if the team is going to increase that. There's too many uncertainty, but overall I think vouchers will get more valuable, but I can't put a price to it.
Yeah, that's
But
fair. That's fair.
that being said, um, I think vouchers is something that the Matt has previously talked about, that it is something you want to keep, something you want to hold, because if you want any cool stuff, you just need vouchers. You want to participate, you need vouchers. And Nate has been hyping it as well. It's telling people, you just gotta wait, be patient. There is utility coming. There are promotions that they can't provide any more details. They can't release, so you just have to be patient. At the same time, Matt did talk about the price of vouchers being very seasonal and cyclical, where
Hmm.
when there is a promo, people buy, and then the price just shoots up. Once the promo is done, no one wants to hold voucher, and then they want to move their asset away from vouchers. But when the next promo comes, people buy up again. So
Yeah.
in this kind of cyclical trend, if you believe in the contrarian theory, do the contrary. You can buy vouchers when people don't want it, sell it when people want it. That
Hmm.
could be a flipping opportunity for yourself. But as a gamer, it's very hard to do it because you want to get involved. You don't want to sell the vouchers when the promo comes. So that's the
Oh
struggle
man,
of an
that is.
investor and a gamer. So
Yeah.
you just gotta have to see how you balance that up. But I see some opportunities there. But if you just want to, hold on your
Hmm.
vouchers, not dwell or dabble in all this uh, buying and selling, then just hold on to the vouchers and participate in whatever promo you like and you enjoy, and just enjoy the game.
Well, there you go, guys. You heard it from Godziel. So you know what to do with your vouchers. I was this close to selling a little bit last week when the news came out and there
Mm-hmm.
was a lot of hype. But exactly to your point, where it was just like, oh, like vouchers like doubled in price. I should just like
Mm-hmm.
sell a couple here. But the voice in the back of my head was like, but what if we have like close to enough for for
Yeah.
Waka's Spiritblade? Let's just hold on to it. So
Mm-hmm.
um it's kind of the beauty and curse of PTE gaming, right? Like you want to be able to invest while also being able to enjoy the game. So those who can do one over the other probably are at an advantage, but they're also not having as much fun as we
Mm-hmm.
are. All right, well,
Yep.
Godzilla, I appreciate you coming through and taking time to chat about the hot topics that we've had. We will have you back in the future. So, guys, if you want to hear more information, or if you want to hear the conversations that Godzilla and I to focus on specific topics, definitely let us know in the comments section below. But yeah, Godzilla, do you want to leave any lasting thoughts or final thoughts with the group?
Yeah. Hey, just huge thanks to everyone supporting the video. Yeah, do like and subscribe to After Sound and leave comments below the topics that you want us to talk about or discuss. Any interesting things you want to share with us. We'll pick out random players and viewers. Remember to leave your IGN because I'll be giving out some Chaos Legion packs. So
Oh,
as long as you give
okay.
like interesting comment, we may pick you and just send you some Chaos Legion packs. So please participate. Just comment right below. And looking forward to your comments and see you soon.
All right, well, you guys heard the man. So Godzilla is being incredibly generous. I don't know what I've done to deserve the channel. Everybody comes on the channel like give stuff away. It's again, the generosity in this community is amazing. So Godzilla, thank you for that. Guys, make sure to leave your IGNs in. Let us know what you thought about the conversation today and what potential topics you would like us to discuss in the future. We'll probably make this into some kind of series. So would love to get your feedback on that. Godzilla, have a good one, man. We'll talk soon.
Yep, see you soon.